Hey there, folks. Welcome to Explore Talks. Hope you all have subscribed to this channel. If not yet, please do it now. In today's video, we are going to see how TCS model paper looks like and how we are going to solve it. So these are the topics that are included in TCS syllabus. Prepositions, sentence correction, spellings, reading comprehension, parajumbles, vocabulary, sentence completion, and clause test. Riley leaned blank me and gave me an awkward smile, expressing her dismissal. At, towards, over, with. So as you can see here, Riley leaned. Towards is the right answer here because at is used to specify a particular position or a location. So here leaned at me means adjacent to something, or she leaned adjacent to me. So here this blank, like in this blank, this option doesn't seem to fit. Next, over. Over means on top of. How can someone lean on top of us? So yeah, this is also not correct. And with shows the connection between the two things or whatever it is. Like for example, I'm going to movie with my friend. So here it is showing the connection. So here it is nothing but Riley leaned towards me. So the meaning is bending towards the same direction of the person, like opposite to you, and giving an upward smile. That's the meaning of it. So here the right answer is towards. Now let's move to the next question. This building comprises blank 60 rooms. Of, onto, by, no preposition needed. So if I'm not wrong, most of the people choose option A as answer. Because whenever we frame sentences in spoken English or written English, this is the most common mistake we tend to do. It comprises of 60 cards in it, or this computer comprises of many features in it. We always say that comprises of. The meaning of comprises, it is nothing but includes, means consists. So whenever we use this term comprises, we don't need to use of. But this is a general and a common mistake most of the people do. Like most of the people make this mistake. So do not get confused here. Comprises itself means it consists of. So again, we do not need to use another of. Comprises, enough. Next, comprises on, to, by. As you can see, these are not at all going on with the context that we have taken. So here the right answer is no preposition needed. So what we need to say, this building comprises 60 rooms, means consists of. The Scrooge stared blank at the bundle of notes scattered in front of him. Options: keenly, thoughtfully, sincerely, flatteringly. So staring means continuously looking at something, means very closely, like observing something. So here the right answer is keenly. Keenly means looking at something intensely without even blinking, or detailedly, pin to pin. So that's what we call as keenly, intensely looking at something. As you can see here, you're seeing in front of him. And what is he looking at? Bundle of notes, right? So thoughtfully means thinking something else and staring something. Sincerely means, yeah, it's the way of showing the gratitude. So that's not the right word that we use here. And flatteringly, no. These three are out of the context. So here, the term which fits the most in this blank is keenly, means looking at something intensely. In a very secret deal, Nestle has blank the entire chocolate market in Asia. Acquired, took, captured, conquered. As you can see here, the context is that we are talking about how Nestle is flourishing in the Asian market with its own market. Okay. So, which means how rapidly it is growing and how rapidly it's developing. That's what we are talking about in the context. Now, you cannot use Nestle has acquired the entire chocolate market in Asia. Why? Because the meaning of acquired means to buy something. Nestle hasn't buy like Nestle hasn't bought the entire chocolate market in Asia. So we cannot use this. And yeah, taking means if someone gives you something, if you take it, then it is referred as take. However, here it has a different meaning. Now, conquered is also a wrong word. Why? Because the meaning of conquer itself is that whenever you're taking over something by forcing someone, then it is referred as conquering. So Nestle isn't forcing the entire chocolate market in Asia or something, right? So that is the reason we cannot even use the term conquered. Captured is the right term. Means even captured is also kind of similar to conquer, nothing but taking over. However, in a secret way, not by forcing anyone or anything. So here the right answer is captured. Means taking over something in a secret way. So since we have used this term secret deal also, that proves that the best answer is out of the given options is option C, captured. Identify the word with a correct spelling. So actually, you need to identify the correct option, which includes the correct spelling in it. And the term is baffling. The term is baffling. So based on it, whichever fits with the correct spelling of the pronunciation, that's what we need to choose. And the meaning of the term baffling is something which is extremely confusing. I mean, extremely difficult to understand. That's what we call by baffling. And the correct spelling is option B. Identify the word with an incorrect spelling. Gourmet, anonymous, vacillate, neurosis. So it is not vacillate or something. The incorrect spelling given here is option C. It is vacillate. Okay, vacillate. The meaning of vacillate is nothing but to waver in mind or in will or a feeling. So like how to say, it is like something, if you are being hesitant to choose something or having different opinions on something, fluctuations, that's what we call vacillate. Okay, vacillate. Gourmet meaning, in simple terms, if you want me to say, it's like referring to a person who is more like a foodie. Actually, it talks about a person with a discerning palate, nothing but foodies. Okay. Next, anonymous means unknown. Vacillate means, as I told you before, it's like fluctuation, wavering over something. Neurosis, it's a mental illness like anxiety and depression. So that's what we call by neurosis. Now let's look into the next question. Identify the word with a correct spelling. As you can see, A, B, C, D are given, and the actual term is taciturn. Taciturn. Now the correct spelling is, before revealing what this taciturn, I mean what the correct spelling is, we should know what's the meaning of the term taciturn. Means a person who does not communicate much, means a reserved kind of person who doesn't like to talk too much. Taciturn. So the correct spelling is option C. Taciturn. It's not T-E-R-N. It's not taciturn. It is taciturn. Taciturn. Spot the error. Akash crouched towards directly in front of the cabinet, his face only inches away from the glass. So we need to identify which part is consisting the error in it. So here the error is in part A. As you can see here, Akash crouched towards directly. Towards means again it talks about in front of, right? So these both are not matching in the context. And as you can see, the actual meaning of crouching is crouching meaning bending down. So crouched down we can say like bend down. So we don't need to use towards here. We need to use down. Akash crouched down directly in front of the cabinet, his face only inches away from the class. So the answer is option C. Spot the error. A moment after, the pregnant lady came out of the hospital ward holding a baby boy in her arms. So now let's check where the error is. Now, came out of the hospital. So this term came out of the hospital, it is referring to the past tense and there is no error in it. Holding a baby boy in her arms. So the pregnant lady, she came out of the hospital ward holding a baby boy in her arms. As you can see, part B, C and D are consisting of no errors in it. Okay, there are no errors. So the incorrect part is part A. A moment after the pregnant lady. So the exact error is the term after. So when do you use the term after? A moment after means the term after refers to another, means the second action. But here we are talking only about one particular action where she came out. So we need to use later. A moment later means after a moment. So either we need to use this after before the sentence like this. After a moment means the term moment is referring to a time after a moment. The pregnant lady came out of the hospital ward holding a baby boy in her arms. Or we can even say a moment later, the pregnant lady came out of the hospital ward holding a baby boy in her arms. So here the answer is option A. Which of phrases given below each sentence should replace the phrase printed in bold type to make the grammatically correct? So what we need to do is, as per the instruction given here, we need to improvise the sentence and make it grammatically correct. Now the question is, had you been told me about your problem, I would have helped you. And the options we got here are if you would have, had you have, if you had, if you have. So here we have two clauses in this sentence. We'll break this sentence. Okay. Now this is the main clause. I would have helped you. Would plus have plus V3. So here it is talking about past participle, this V3. Since we have used the term have here. So now this is a conditional case. Whenever you use would plus have plus present participle, I mean V3. Now here we need to use past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. So based on the main clause, we got to know that here in this clause, the tense should be the past perfect tense. Now, had you been, is it in past perfect tense? You will not be using this been term in past perfect tense. So what we need to use here is, look at the options. If you would have, again you are using would have, would have. So according to the conditional cases, you cannot do it. So eliminate option A. Had you have. Okay. So here you are using had and here you are using have again. So tense mismatching. Eliminate option B. Now in option C and D, option C is the right answer. If you had told me, see, if you had told me, had plus told it is in V3 form, right? Had plus V3. So past perfect tense. If you had told me about your problem, I would have helped you. So whenever you use present participle here, have plus V3 here, here you have to remember according to the conditional case, this is a rule. We need to use this past perfect tense. So option C is the right answer here. Now let's move into the next question. Martha took a seat in front of the video monitor, which is already in playback mode. So even you read this sentence for twice or thrice, it might give you the impression that the entire sentence is right and there is no error here. However, there is an error in this sentence. Now, that error is Martha took a seat. So, what is the part A suggesting us? It is suggesting us that the sentence is in past tense in front of the video monitor. So, here also there is no mistake. Up to here, it is clear. There is no mistake, which is already in the playback mode. As you can see, in the playback mode is also correct. There is no mistake here also. Prepositions wise or anything, whatever you take. Now, here there is a mistake, which is already. As you can see, Martha took a seat. Took, it is referring to past tense. Okay, because the term took is in V2 form. And already, the term already is referring to the past tense. Then how can we use this term is here? So the error is in part C. So the right answer here is option C. Now we need to replace this is with was. Replace is with was. Then what is the correct format of saying this sentence? Martha took a seat in front of the video monitor, which was already in playback mode. So which was? Replace that is with was. Sheena has lived in California since 9 months. Okay. So we need to improvise this sentence. So here, as you can see, Sheena has lived in California in 9 months. In California in 9 months. So it doesn't even make sense, right? So now we have to eliminate this term since. Okay, we need to replace this term since with for. Why? As you can see here, the term since refers to the starting point of an action and there will be no ending point. For example, I have been living in Hyderabad since 2019. So when I started living in Hyderabad in 2019, even now to the present, I'm still continuing the same action. So the term since talk about the starting point and where there is no ending usually for that particular action. Now, when do you use the term for? For is used when you are actually talking about a time period. So, you'll be using since for defining the starting point of an action. Now, you'll be using for when you are referring to a time interval or a time slot, like duration. I have been waiting here for 3 months, or I have waiting for you for 3 months, or for 2 hours, or for 3 hours. So it talks about the time interval or a time duration, like how long you have done that particular action. So she has lived in California for 9 months is the right way to say. Why? Because for refers to how long she has lived in California, only for 9 months of period. So here you are talking about a time period, right? So that is the reason for is the actual preposition that you need to use here. However, we have two sentences which are including the preposition for in it. Option A and option B. Now we need to eliminate option B because I live in India, I live in Hyderabad, or I live in Telangana, whatever the state it is. So we use the preposition in here, not at. So based on that, eliminate option B. So Sheena has lived in California for 9 months. So option A is the right answer. Her footsteps grew loud as she walked down the stairs to fetch the hat. Footsteps grew louder. Footsteps grow louder. Footsteps grows louder. No correction needed. So as we can see here, we are comparing. So by the each step she takes, the footsteps are like the noise, the sound is growing louder. So that's what we want to convey here. That's the context. Now, as you can see, as she walked down. So this term, the term walked is suggesting us that the sentence is in past tense because walked is in V2 form. So the sentence is in past tense. So obviously here, the term, whatever the verb we use here, it should also be in past tense. Hence, we should not have any mismatching in the sentence tense wise. So based on that, you can directly eliminate option A and option C because our sentence is in past tense. However, the term grow, it is in V1 form, which is referring to the present tense. And this grows, it is also in V1 form. And again, it is also referring to the present tense. So eliminate A and C. And footsteps, it is a plural form. However, here our verb is singular. Again, subject verb wise also. It is not agreeing with the subject verb rule also. So eliminate option A and option C. So the right answer here is option B. Her footsteps grew louder as she walked down the stairs to fetch the hat. So by the each step she took, her footsteps grew louder. So that's what the context is here. So this is what we call clause test. Means there is a paragraph which is given to us. However, that paragraph is incomplete. As you can see, there are few blanks and we need to fill the best options in those blanks. That's what we need to do and we need to complete the paragraph. So let's take a look into the paragraph first. Blood transfusion for people with cancer depends on the blank of anemia. If you don't have enough healthy red blood cells, you are facing a problem called anemia. It often starts slow, which is not even notice symptoms at blank. The count of hemoglobin start getting little. It is a part of red blood cell that blank oxygen to all the cells in your body. As soon as hemoglobin level blank, one start feeling shortage of breath or fast heartbeat. So the moment whenever I said the term blank, 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 you might get this feeling of that you have not understood anything in this paragraph. Absolutely true. So that is the reason how to solve such kind of questions is nothing but we need to always focus on completing each sentence first. So we will go blanks wise. Once after we are done with finishing the first one, in like we will be reading and we will be understanding. Well, we are trying to fit the correct option in the suitable blank. Okay. Now let's see. Blood transfusion for people with cancer depends on the blank of anemia. Okay. So as you can see, for the first blank, we have four options A, B, C, D. Develops, having development, had development, or development. So what is the right answer here? So this is very easy. As you can see here, there is article the in front of blank. Okay. Blood transfusion for people with cancer depends on the blank of anemia, with on the development of anemia. You will never say on the had development of anemia. No. Why do we even use had or having? On the having development of anemia? No, we will not use such kind of things, right? The develops of anemia. So see, develops is a verb here. So we will not use any verb because depends is the verb and here we are talking about a noun. So develops is a verb. So eliminate that. And these B and C are also verbs. However, I mean nouns with helping verbs as you can see here. On the having development of anemia or on the had development, we cannot say. So we will directly go for choosing option D because the term the defines or modifies an adjective or a noun. So obviously we need to use a noun after this, the, not had or having. So that is the reason based on that option D is the right answer here. It often starts slow, which is not even notice symptoms at blank. Now look at the options that we have here. Starting, started, first, last. So we cannot use starting or started. Why? Because the sentence itself, it started with starts, the term starts. So which is not even notice symptoms at start. See at the beginning is fine. Okay. It is nothing but the context is here. We cannot even notice the symptoms at the beginning. So we cannot say, we can say the term at the beginning. Since we have already used the term starts, we cannot use starting or started here. Okay. And one more thing, So whenever we are using the term starting, which is in ing form, we need to use a helping verb. But before the blank, do we have any helping verbs here? No. So based on that, eliminate option A. Is starting or was starting, we have to use a helping verb whenever we generally use this ing forms as verbs. And again, as you can see here, started. So here we are talking, the entire sentence is in simple present tense. Okay, generic format. It's in generic form and it is in simple present tense. However, the term started, it is referring to simple past tense. Again, there is tense mismatching also. Eliminate option B. Now, so as I told you before, we can use this term. It often starts slow, which is not even notice symptoms at the beginning. But we do not have the term beginning. However, we can replace the term beginning with first. So here the right answer is first. And you cannot use last here because you are talking about how this disease or how this anemia starts, right? So obviously starting means we are talking about the beginning of something. So first is the right answer here. The count of hemoglobin start getting little. It is the part of red blood cell that blank or oxygen to all the cells in your body. Now, the options given for this blank 3 are carried, had carried, carries, carrier. So we can directly eliminate this option D because we cannot say like it is a part of red blood cell that carrier oxygen. No, it's like it takes oxygen. Okay, it carries oxygen. That's what we wanted to say. Now, you have to eliminate option D because here we are not talking about a carrier. We are talking about an action which is done by red blood cells. What red blood cells do? What is the part of red blood cell? So what do they do? That's what we are talking about. However, carrier is referring to a noun again. It's not talking about the action done by the red blood cell. So eliminate option D. And we can even eliminate option A and B also. Why? Because throughout the paragraph here, as you can see, start getting, it is the part of. So nowhere we have used past tense. Carried is in past tense. Okay. But our sentence or our paragraph, it is in present tense. So eliminate option A. And option B also eliminated. Why? Because it is in past perfect tense, as I told you before. So the entire context, the entire paragraph is in present tense. So we have to use only the verbs which are in present tense, not the past tense. There should be no tense mismatching. So based on that, eliminate option B also. And option C is the right answer. Yeah. So what is the job of red blood cell? Red blood cell carries oxygen to all the cells in your body. So that's what we are trying to say here. Next, as soon as hemoglobin level blank, one start feeling shortage of breath or fast heart rate. Fast heart rate. So now, as I told you before, you cannot use option B. Just now I have told you in the previous example, whenever you use ing form, before that, you should use is or was, whatever the helping verb it is, okay? Is or was, based on the tense, we need to use a helping verb, okay? So like ing forms are followed by is or was or an. So before this blank, we do not have any other helping verb. We just have hemoglobin level. So according to the sentence framing, eliminate option B. And next, option C also eliminated because see here, hemoglobin level. So hemoglobin level, it is hemoglobin. It is an uncountable noun. Okay. It is an uncountable noun because we measure it and all. So it is an uncountable noun. And we cannot use plural verbs when we are referring to the uncountable nouns as our subjects. We need to use singular verb. So if ever you want to get more clarity regarding this rule, there is already a video I have made on subject verb agreement. Please go through those reels for more details. So yeah, we have to use this term decreases since we have used the term hemoglobin, which is an uncountable noun as our subject. So for example, water is on the floor. Okay, we have to say water is, we cannot say water are. Why? Because water is an uncountable noun. In the same way, hemoglobin level, it is an uncountable noun. So that is the reason we need to use this decreases term, not decrease. And we can eliminate option D and E. As I told you before, our paragraph is in present tense. So we are not supposed to use the verbs which are related to, which are in past tense. So based on that, the right answer is, based on that, the right option is option A. Select the most appropriate antonym of the given word. Means we need to identify the opposite term of the given word. And the given word is sanctimonious. Options are empirical, devout, impious, maudlin. Okay. So now what is the meaning of scantimonious? So the meaning of scantimonious means feeling that you are morally greater than anyone else or you're superior to everyone morally. If you are feeling like that, then you are referred as a sanctimonious person. In other words, sanctimonious is actually a close synonym to pious. Pious. So, what is the opposite term of pious? Obviously, it is very clear. Impious. Okay. Pious, impious. Oh, now, what is the meaning of empirical? Empirical meaning factual or seen. Let me write it here so that you can clearly understand it. Sanctimonious means feeling that you are superior to others. Okay. And what kind of superiority you have? What kind of superiority that you have? Sorry, just please. Select the most appropriate antonym of the given word. Sanctimonious. And you need to identify the opposite term for sanctimonious. Options are empirical, devout, impious, maudlin. So the meaning of sanctimonious is having a feeling that you are morally superior to other people. What is the meaning of sanctimonious? Let me write it here. Thinking that you are morally superior to other people. Or in other terms, it is also referred as pious. Pious opposite form. Let me write the other meaning also. So this is the meaning of sanctimonious, means pious or having a feeling that you are morally superior to other people. Okay. So now what is the meaning of this empirical? Empirical means something which is factual or something which you have observed or seen. Okay. Factual, observed or seen. So let's write factual here. Now, what is the meaning of devout? So devout meaning again, sanctimonious, devout, these both are kind of synonyms. Pious, you can even call a devout as a devoted person. Also, I mean, a person who is into like religion too much, like religious person. So devout. Now, impious. The meaning of impious is nothing but showing lack of respect to God. Showing lack of respect to God. Mean like ungodly, godless. Okay, godless or something. That's what we call by impious. And maudlin means over sentimental. Being over sentimental is referred as maudlin. Over sentimental. So now what is the opposite term for sanctimonious here? Sorry, sanctimonious here. So as you can already see, sanctimonious means pious. Opposite time for pious, impious. So the right answer is option C. Option C is the right answer here. Choose the option which is opposite to the given word. And the given word is conviction. So we need to identify the opposite word for conviction. Options given to us are certitude, treachery, unofficial, attached. So you already know the meaning of unofficial. It's a general term, and unofficial means nothing but not accepted or not approved. Okay. Next, what is attached? Attachment meaning liking something or somebody very much. That's what we call attached, being attached to someone, right? Next, what is the meaning of certitude? If you have a feeling of that you are being certain about something, then it is referred as certitude. So it is kind of an attitude. Means if you feel that something is so certain, okay, it is certain, then that means certitude. Now, treachery, meaning it is act of deceiving someone you trust, nothing but cheating someone you trust or betraying someone you trust. It's not about betraying or cheating. It's about that. It's like your intention is to cause harm to them. You want to harm them. You trust someone and you want to harm them. And nothing but cheating again, right? So yeah. Next, conviction meaning it's strong belief on something. If you believe something strongly, or if you have a strong viewpoint for something, then it is referred as conviction. So believing something and cheating someone whom you believe or who believes you. So these both are opposites, right? So here the answer is treachery. So let me write the meanings all the words here so that we can understand it clearly. Conviction meaning a strong belief. Okay, it's a strong belief. Next, certitude meaning being certain, being certain about something. Next, treachery meaning it is an act of bringing harm to someone. Now, unofficial meaning, as we already know, not accepted. Okay, unacceptable or something which is unacceptable or something which is disapproved. Okay, next, attached meaning liking something or somebody. Okay, liking something very much, liking something or somebody very much. So as you can see here, believing strongly someone, strongly believing someone or something, or bringing harm to someone whom you trust or who trusts you. Now, these both are opposites, right? So, based on the meanings, the right answer here is option B. Now, let's move into the next question. Dwell. And we need to identify the synonym here. Synonym meaning, synonym means meaning. We need to identify the synonym of the term dwell. Okay, which has the same meaning again. Vacate, grant, bail, and bide. So which one is the right answer? First of all, let's try to understand the meaning of the question. What is the meaning of dwell? Dwell meaning to reside in or to stay in a place. Okay, to stay in or to reside in. So, okay, that's what we call to stay, dwell meaning. Vacate meaning what? Leaving a building or something. So, these both are opposites, right? Staying somewhere and leaving somewhere, these are opposites. However, we need to identify the synonym, not the antonym. So, option A is also wrong. Next, what is the meaning of grant? Grant meaning agreeing. Next, what is the meaning of bail? Bail means to let somebody go free on bail. To let somebody go free on bail. To let somebody go free. It's a verb. Go free on bail. Okay. Next, what is the meaning of bide? Bide meaning also same. To stay or to remain. So based on the meanings of the words we have here, the synonym for dwell is bide, means staying somewhere, to stay or to remain in the same place or to reside in. So both are same. Now the answer for this is option D. Let's move to the next question. Find the synonym of below, bold word in the given sentence. Okay. One of the present bishops was consecrated when quite a young man. Sorry. One of the present bishops was consecrated when quite a young boy, and deacons are often ordained at 16 and even much earlier. So here the context is nothing but present bishops. Okay. Consecrated meaning the person who actually represents the body and blood of Christ. Okay, they were declaring or representing the God. Okay, over there when they were a young boys, like when they were young. And deacons means the meaning of deacon is it like they are members of church. They are members of church. Okay, so here we are talking about bishops and deacons. Okay, are often ordained. Ordained meaning appointed at the age of 16 and even much earlier. So when they are 16 or younger than that, okay, when they are before 16, they were appointed or designated in their roles, okay, as a members of church. Now, we need to identify the term which is the synonym of the highlighted word ordained here. So revoked meaning cancelled. Ordained meaning is appointment or appointed. Okay, let me write it here so that we can understand it clearly. Or ordained meaning appointed. Revoked meaning cancelled. Destined meaning again appointed. Next, overturned meaning is also cancelled. Annulled meaning also cancelled. So, which is actually having the synonym, which is acting as a synonym for ordained, appointed. Obviously, the right answer here is option B, destined, appointed again. The building was consecrated as a Protestant Episcopal church in May 1814. So as you can see here, just now I have told you, consecrated means something which is related to God. So in other terms, it is referred as being holy or sacred. Okay, the meaning of consecrated is sacred or holy. Now, what is the meaning of temporal, hallowed, earthly, and secular? And we need to identify the synonym here. So let's take a look into it. Temporal meaning secular. And again, the meaning of secular is something which is unreligious or something which is non-religious. Means which is not connected to any spiritual ways or religious thoughts. Okay, non-religious. Sacred, holy means something which is totally religious, right? And we believe that it is sacred and holistic thing, right? So earthly. What is the meaning of earthly? It is general term. It is a general term which refers to the earth or a human life, just a normal life. Okay, possible thing or likely. That is the meaning of it. So relating, earthly meaning relating or related to the earth or human life. Okay. Next, hallowed meaning again holy. Okay, holy or sacred. So obviously here, the right answer is hallowed, sacred. Find the synonym of a bold word in the given sentence. The criticism of his latest movie is sure to exasperate his admirers. Options: propitiate, appease, aggravate, comfort. So in order to identify the meaning of the given word here, first of all, we need to know the meanings of all the words. Now let's take a look into the meanings of these words. Exasperate meaning, as you can see here, to disturb the peace of mind of someone, especially by repeated disagreeable acts. For example, like if someone is doing, it's more like irritating you and disturbing your peace of mind by doing something which you don't like, okay, which you disagree, right? Next, aggravate meaning, again, it is also same. Make a problem with, there is already a problem, and making it worse, or making it more serious, or annoying person, or annoying a person, nothing but irritating. So both are kind of synonyms. So here the right answer is aggravate. Now let's look into the next other options also. Appease meaning, to make somebody calmer or less angry. So already someone is angry, to make them calm, okay, that's what we call appeasing. Propitiate is also same, to make peace with somebody who's angry by trying to please them. So here you're pleasing them, so that I mean you're trying to convince them and you're trying to please them so that they'll become calm. Okay. Next, comfort meaning, as you already know, the feeling of being physically relaxed. So here the synonym is exasperate. So for exasperate, the synonym is aggravate, as we already know. Okay. I saw two men at the train station. Both went to the coffee shop together. The first one was holding an umbrella. The second one was holding a bag. After coffee, one of them left the coffee shop. The second one waited for his wife later. So as you can see here, let's do some option verification. By looking at the options, we got to know that our second statement is between P or Q. As you can see, all the options here are either starting with Q or either starting with P, right? So we don't need to even consider this R and S. Now we have to decide whether P comes first or Q comes first. So I say that Q comes first. Why? Because here you are talking about two men at the train station, right? So let's just say that both went to the coffee shop together. So after statement one, if you're thinking statement two is P, okay, up to here, it is clear. And yes, it makes sense. And there is no misinterpretation, or there is no there is proper logic. And yes, it is in, like it is linking with the above statement. So let's think that P is a statement two. Next, we are talking about, as you can see, PQRS is the format. So there is only one option which is starting with PQRS. Now let's see. The first one was holding an umbrella. Okay, again, now you are differentiating these both, okay, individually. Okay, you are talking about these both individually. The first one was holding an umbrella, and the second one was holding a bag. So up to here, it is clear. Now all of a sudden, you are talking about after coffee. So see here, in statement two, you have spoken about coffee. And after that, you have changed your subject. You started talking about these both individually. And again, here you started talking about coffee, after coffee. So which shows that there is no continuity among these four sentences. So PQRS, this format is wrong. And I say that Q is the second statement, as you can see by the option verification. And after Q, and it is R, statement 3 is R. Why? Because here in the statement 1, you are saying that you saw two men. The first one, okay, in those two men, you are talking about first one in Q, and you are talking about the second one in R. So QR is the pair here. So based on that, eliminate this option A and option D, because after Q it is not P, it is R, because first you have spoken about the first one was holding an umbrella. Okay, what is the second one doing? The second one was holding a bag. So you are talking about first and second man, like men, as you said about the two men where you have described in statement one. Next, both went to the coffee shop together. Okay, they both went to the coffee shop. Till now, you have spoken about these two men individually, separately. Now you said that what they did combinedly, like together they went to a shop after coffee. As you can see here, there is the idea elaboration. Okay, now there is continuity. After going into the coffee shop, one of them left the coffee shop. So they both went together to a coffee shop. One person left the coffee shop and the second one waited for his wife later. So he still remained in the coffee shop and waiting for his wife. Got it? So here the right answer is QRPS. Earthquake means the shaking of the earth's surface. It is a sudden trembling of the surface of the earth. Furthermore, earthquakes can cause huge damage to life and property. Earthquakes certainly are a terrible natural disaster. Some earthquakes are weak in nature and probably go unnoticed. In contrast, some earthquakes are major and violent. So as you can see here, we have a strategy or we have a rule that we implement in this concept of parajumbles. Here in P, we are talking about it is a sudden trembling of the surface. So before talking about P, once of all, let's quickly check the options. Again, based on the option verification, we got to know the statement, our second statement lies between P or Q. Okay, it is either P or it is either Q. And I say that it is P. P is the second statement. Why? Because so here we are using a pronoun it. It is a sudden trembling of the surface of the earth. So the term it is referring to what? Earthquake, which we have mentioned here in S1. Got it? In statement 1, we have mentioned earthquake means the shaking of the earth's surface. It is a sudden trembling. What is a sudden trembling? Earthquake. So based on noun pronoun replacement, our second statement should be P. Now, how many options are starting with P? Only one option is starting with P. And that option is option C. So option C is our answer. Now let's quickly check whether option C is having the continuity or not, just like proofreading. We already know our answer, just for confirmation. Let's check it once. It is a sudden trembling of the surface of the earth. Next, it is given that furthermore earthquakes means furthermore. The term furthermore means additionally. You're adding some additional information to the one which you have already spoken over there. So it means that here you are talking only about earthquake, not about earthquakes. Okay. You're just defining what an earthquake is. Nothing but you are talking about the definition of earthquake in statement 1 and statement 2. And furthermore, earthquakes, okay, you're adding damage that it causes and everything. However, you got to know that before this Q, there is some other statement. What is that some other statement? We need to identify, and it is in between R and S. It is between R and S. Earthquakes certainly are a terrible natural disaster. Sorry, terrible natural disaster. Furthermore, okay, now you have seen here, it is talking about disaster, means what damages it causes to us. And here you have mentioned the term earthquakes, right? So R, after R, you have to take this Q. So P, R, and Q. Why after R you need to write Q? Because here you have mentioned how it is considered as a natural disaster. Okay, furthermore, not only just natural disaster, furthermore, it can cause huge damage to life and property. Okay, some earthquakes are weak in nature and probably go unnoticed. Okay, S is the last statement, means statement 5. Why? Because here you have used the term in contrast. So in S, what are you saying? Few earthquakes, we don't even notice that there is an earthquake. Okay, few are very weak in nature, so that we don't even notice it. However, in contrast meaning, however, so it is contradicting the above statement by saying that some earthquakes are major and violent. Okay, so after us, based on the statement 6, you have to understand that statement 5 is S, because statement 5 is in contradiction with statement 6. So here the right answer is option C. I think the idea of listening has been instilled as an our first teachers who have taught us the importance of their rules living under our parents' roof meant listening and following their rules when school are important behavior ever since we were born. Our parents are. S starts we are listening to authority figures and have to obey them to stay out of trouble. And statement 6, it is important for people to see others practicing good listening skills because that skill can help them. As you can see here, all the PQRS statements, they have not started, like in a proper way. And P and Q and R, as you can see, they have ended abruptly. See, they are not a complete sentences here. Here, these are not complete sentences. These are like ended abruptly. So I say that, as you can see here, our statement 1 is ending with an. Okay, article an. Now focus on this article an. So can you use parentheses after an? Based on the option verification, our statement 2 should be either Q or R, as you can see here, Q or R, right? So in Q, we have mentioned parentheses roof. You use article an only before vowel sounds, not before consonant sounds, right? And moreover, here parentheses, it is a plural noun. So you cannot use AR an article before plural nouns. You use them only before singular nouns. So based on that, eliminate all the options which are starting with Q. Now what is our answer? Our answer is option B. And now let's check whether B is the right answer or not. Okay. Now see, I think the idea of listening has been instilled as an important behavior. As you can see, and okay, we have to write an only before vowel sounds. Yes, important behavior. So this is the right one. Okay, our statement 2 is R. R is our second statement. Okay. Now let's see. Important behavior. Ever since we were born, our parents are, and again, you cannot say that our parents are parents' roof meant. Okay. You cannot say that, right? After our, it is not Q. Now let's see. Our parents are. Again, can you say starts? No. So there is no continuity here also. See, you will not use are if there is our parents starts, and again starts is also referring to singular thing. However, parents, our subject is plural. So S is not our third statement, and even Q is also not our third statement. Now let's check P. Our parents are our first teachers. Yes. So here there is continuity. So our third statement is P. Okay. Our parents are our first teachers who have taught us the importance of their rules living under our parents' roof. Okay, living under our parents' roof. So now again there is continuity. So this is statement 4, and parents' roof meant listening and following their rules when school starts. So as you can see here, school, it is the singular subject. Okay, here this subject is singular. So obviously the starts is also singular verb, subject verb agreement. Based on that, we can understand that statement 5 is S. So the right answer is here RPQS. Based on the clues we have, we can identify it easily. So just identifying the second statement alone, you can understand what the right answer is here. And this is very easy to even solve. Man, due to his need and greed, has done many activities that not only harm, be extinct due to human activity. Human activities that harm the climate include deforestation. Q. All these things damage the climate and ecosystem very badly. R. Using fossil fuel, industrial waste, a different type of pollution, and many more. S. The environment, but himself too. Many plant and animal species go. Okay. Statement 6. And many species of animals and birds got instinct or on a verge of instinction due to hunting. So as you can see here, read the statement one carefully once. Man, due to his need and greed, has done many activities that not only. So whenever you use this kind of correlative conjunctions, not only is followed by, but also. Now, based on the option verification, we will not consider Q for second statement. Okay. Our second statement is among P, R, and S. Okay. Now, in P, do you have anything which is contradicting? Not only is followed by, but also. We know this thing. So, have we ever mentioned anywhere in P the term but? No. Next, look at R. R is mentioning few elements which is separated by which are separated by comma, and even in R also we cannot find but the term but. Okay, so S. Our second statement is S. Why? Because here you can see instead of writing but also we have written but to. Okay. See, man due to his need and greed has done many activities that not only harm the environment but himself too. Got it? Many plant and animal species go. So you're using go here. Go all these things damage or go using fossil fuels. After go, obviously we will not be using again the term using another verb. Okay. All these things, there is no continuity. Go extinct. Okay. Go extinct. Yeah. So our third statement is P. Even if you check the options also, now we have successfully eliminated option A and option B. Now if you check C and D, SP, up to here it is common, right? Now we need to identify whether R comes first, next or Q comes next. Let's see it now. Due to human activity. Now you are saying that all the animal species go extinct due to human activity. Now what are those human activities? You have mentioned it clearly here. Human activities that harm the climate include deforestation. Those human activities are deforestation, using fossil fuels, industrial waste, a different type of pollution, and many more. So, what are these human activities that cause harm and which makes the animals go extinct? These are those human activities, right? So, our statement 4 is R. So, all these damage the climate. So, here you are saying all these. The term these is referring to what? Deforestation, fossil fuels, industrial waste, a different type of pollution, and many more. So here the term these, the pronoun these is referring to all these nouns here. Okay. Damage the things, damage the climate and ecosystem very badly. And many species of animals and birds got extinct or on a verge of extinction due to hunting. Got it? So here the right answer is option D. Some people blank other innocent men to believe in their blank ideas and disturb their mental peace. So what are you saying here? Some people. Okay, now we need to understand the context first. Some people do something to the innocent men to believe in their ideas and disturb their mental peace. Okay, so I'm doing something to you in order to believe in my ideas. And what kind of ideas do I have? That's what we need to find out by referring to the options. Now see here, foolish ideas, stupid ideas, superstitious ideas, or tricky ideas. What kind of ideas do I have? So see here, this example is very easy and it is very clear. So you are an innocent person, and what am I doing you? I'm tricking you to believe in my ideas, right? I am tricking you. Means I am making you to believe in my ideas. I'm tricking you. So the right answer, like the right blank which fits in this first blank is the term trick. It's not like some people take other innocent men to believe. No, I am not taking you. I'm tricking you. And I'm not bringing or I'm not driving other innocent men. I'm tricking them. Yes, I'm just fooling them. Tricking them means fooling them. I'm fooling innocent people to believe in my ideas. And what kind of ideas do I have? Foolish, stupid, or tricky ideas? It is superstitious ideas. Okay, you are a person who doesn't believe in any superstitions. Okay, I'm tricking you into believing me. Okay, since the term innocent is mentioned here, I am making a fool out of you, like I'm fooling you. So the right answer here is option C. Challenges must be blank to realize the blank of a greater regional economic integration. So this entire context is in a positive way. Challenges must be what? Challenges must be suppressed or ignored. You should not actually pay attention to the challenges. Should be unaware of it, or you have to sustain to realize the advantages of a greater reason. Okay, if ever you are sustaining or if ever you are tolerating the challenges, how do you get the advantages? You will not get any advantages, right? Because the challenges are still present. So what do you need to do? You need to overcome your challenges so that you realize your capability. Okay, what you're capable of. So here the right answer is option A. Challenges must be overcome. Okay, challenges must be overcome to realize the potential of a greater regional economic integration. So only if you face your challenges and only if you overcome your challenges, you can actually realize what you're capable of, right? So yeah, the right answer here is option A. Now let's move to the last question. Sorry. It was clear that there was no rationale behind his act. He went solely by his blank and somehow succeeded. So, what is the first half of the sentence is saying? It was clear that there was no rationale. It means there was no logical reason behind his act. So, if I'm explaining this, why am I explaining this? There is a reason behind it, right? But here, what it is saying, it was clear that there was no logic behind his act. Means he did something, and there is no logic why he did it. Okay, and it is very clear. He went solely by his means he just did it by his blank and somehow succeeded, and somehow he succeeded in it, he passed it. Okay, already you are saying that there is no rationale behind, okay, rationale behind his act. So you are already saying that there is no logic. And how can you say that he went solely by his logic? If he has logic, why will you say that there is no logical reason behind it? Right? So eliminate option A. Now interpretation, he solely went by his interpretation means what is what is acting as a mediator here? There is no anything as such. Perception means his point of view, ideas. We are already saying that there is no point of view, there is no logic. Why he did it, there is no reason behind it. So perception means nothing but his opinion or his way of thinking, right? So eliminate this also. Compass, it is not even relevant to this particular blank. It is irrelevant. Intuition, meaning nothing but his instincts. So what is the meaning of instinct? So sometimes you feel like, okay, I have to do this. So without even knowing to you, sometimes you feel like this is the right answer, but you do not know whether it is right or wrong logically, factually. But your heart says, like follow your heart. You might have heard the term, right? Instincts. Sometimes we say that if something bad is going to happen, you feel that okay, I feel that today something bad is going to happen. What are those instincts? Okay, what you feel. So intuition. He went solely by his intuition. So whatever he felt like doing, so he did it, and somehow he succeeded. Okay. So it was clear that there is no logic or the reason. So sometimes you do it when you are actually taking an exam or taking a test. Few answers you select it because you know that these are the right answers. Without even knowing, for few questions, you just choose option A as the answer because you feel like that is the right answer. And that feeling of thinking that that is the right answer, that's what we call instinct, nothing but intuitions. And somehow he succeeded in it. So yeah, that's it for today, and hope you have learned something new in this video. And if you are not our subscriber yet, please subscribe to our channel and see you in the next video. Bye bye.